easy, right? This is pre-cal stuff. Just kidding. This is, I don't know, us a couple days ago stuff. So what's du dx?
2x.
2x, right? Dx is equal to du over 2x. I go plugging and a chugging. And I end up with 2x over u times du over 2x. And the 2x's go psh, psh, and then I end up with ln of. Did yours go psh, psh? Mine did. So there we go. Ta-da! And then all of a sudden I go, ta-da! And then I go. And then I go, because I'm thinking AP guy stuff. Did you get there? Does it make sense, guys?
Wait.
How did it? Go ahead, question, go.
I had like a different answer than Jenny. Like I simplified mine to 5 over 2, but then we plugged it into the calculator and there are different answers for ln of 5 minus ln of 2 compared to ln of 5 over 2.
Let me see how you put it in your calculator. Something weird in how you plugged it in, but they're the exact same. Alright, cool kids, how was I able to? First of all, u sub, yeah, right? Plugging in, I have 1 over u, ln of absolute value of u. Where did the absolute value go? Because I don't need it, because this is always positive. And then I have my bounds, I plug in, AP guys would say, psh, that's better. Question, at what point in this problem did it get awkward? That's a weird question.
I don't know.
At what point in this problem did it get awkward? It did for a second, and then it came out okay. ln of 5 minus ln of 2. No, it's not awkward. Let's just plug it in, right? FDC. Where was it awkward? ln of u. No, that's not awkward.
The parentheses.
Parentheses du over 2x?
No,
Oh, maybe this was tricky, absolute value to non-absolute value, but not awkward.
Oh, there's a constant.
What's going on? It was definite, now it's indefinite, and then it was indefinite, and suddenly it's definite? What's going on there?
It happens.
It happens.
I switched from x's to u's, and what is negative 1 and 2? What are they? They're x's, so was I allowed to put them in my u's? No. But then I had to still, after I solved it in u's, once I got back to x's, then, oh hey, there they are, right? Can we do this problem without ever having to get rid of the bounds and then get back to the bounds?
Yeah.
What's the title of the section? You guys write it down?
Definite intervals.
What's it back there? U bounds. Hey, this homework is due on Monday, by the way. WCC, it's a weekend. Okay, coming back. So how can I, sorry, logistics, we're going weird today because the computer was done. Coming back. So, what would change if I said, hey, a definite should always be definite? I would still do that. I would still do that. But I would also do this. Guys, what do we usually mean in math when we're talking about the name of a function and with parentheses and a number inside? Plugging in f of x, function notation, right? F of cow, that was a long time ago. Some of you weren't here though. No, not social cow, that's a different one. But that one's good too. Guys, what is u? X squared plus 1. Where did I get the 2? Top bound. Where did I get the negative 1? Bottom bound. Plug it in and I get. Plug it in and I get. So then I can go and say, hey, I'm going all the way to Wait, pause, does it make sense?
Yeah. Got it.
I'm seeing homework, period one, or row one. Okay, hold on. Get out your homework, I already said two, homework 37. I'm back. It's a rough day. Homework 37, grab it up. What do I have? Why is it maybe better? Is it better? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But there are definitely AP questions where if you do not understand U bounds, there's no way you'll get it right because you'll maybe use the X bounds or you'll just use something weird bounds. Good? Good. So far, only one hasn't done it.
Still not
But we do have row 2 for the first time. The whole row did it. Guys, let me scroll down. Keep writing. I am seeing some common questions, though. I think I might put some of you guys up on the board showing you how to do some of the harder ones. Guys, what were the harder ones? 44B? What do you? You didn't like that one. Row 3 for the first time. Everybody.
In their line.
I told them about it yesterday. They're definitely not near as close. They were like 5 off. I did think of how they wanted to get brownies yesterday, so they could get them today, so they could make jokes about them, but that wasn't it. Don't think about it too much. Wasn't it? They wanted their special brownies today. Homework. All right, homework. My version of special is maybe with chocolate chips. Benji.
I'm happy.
Benji. Where's your homework?
Who are you supposed to be?
Row 4, you lost it today.
I don't have my other 3 people, so I'm kind of out of place.
I still don't get it.
You know the Beatles?
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
Homework. Homework. Nice. Homework. Nice. Homework. Good job, row 5.
Is the our whole road today? I think our road deserves quiche
Quiche. Are we changing the deal all of a
or
sudden?
frittata. I don't know what it's called, but I think
Frittata has tater tot.
I need it is what I heard. If I pay
That's a little bit more.
this is special one.
Row 6, the whole row. Good job, row 6. Ah, 2 people. Guys, you're so close. You're killing me. Do we got it? OCD ones, I'm sorry. You're bugged by the genie. Hold on. Okay, Nick Davis already said there are some questions on the AP where the AP guys make you understand U bounds, or you have to understand U bounds to be able to answer the question. Second time today. Here we go. Guys,
Yeah.
using U bounds, what would you do?
5 minus on your U.
Nice thing is we already have our U. What's different? Hold on, something's funny in this one. What's different? Definite integral. So therefore I'm going to plug in a -1 and a 4. What can I do with that?
Do you plug it in?
I plug it in, right? So then when I plug in -1, I get 7. And when I plug in 4, I get -3.
Yeah.
Now everything else kind of stays the same except, how do I plug that in? Focus box. How do I plug it in? What are my bounds?
7 and
Remember, we always say the bottom bound to the top bound. What are my bounds?
-3.
What are my bounds? What are my
-1,
bounds?
-7
Careful, because if I have a lower bound, it is a lower bounded for the U as well. It has to correspond. It has to fit in its respective spot. -1 was a lower, 7 is a lower. 4 is an upper, -3 is an upper. What's weird about that?
has to be in. It's wrong.
Well, it's not necessarily wrong, and you could go ahead and outright solve it. It'd just be a little awkward. But remember, I'm preparing you for AP, guys. Question, what would they do? Change what to negative? Just randomly put a negative?
No, and then switch to bounds.
Oh, and switch the bounds. So then they would say, all right, cool, let's make this a negative. Switch the bounds from -3 to 7, because that's normal. And then I have u to the 8th du, and I pull out my negative, boop, 1/2. Right?
Yeah.
Then I can say, cool dealio, I don't have to go back to x's. I have 1/2 times u to the 9th over 9 from -3 to 7. My signs are all perfect. I can just go plugging and chugging. I end up with over 18 u to the,
9.
not u, sorry, what am I doing? 7 to the
9.
9 minus 3 to the 9. Let's just say, hey, amazing, let's stop.
Stick that to the middle.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are we good on the signs? Are we good on the bounds? Are we good on a lower is a lower and an upper is an upper? Does that make sense? So be amazing. Hey, pre-cal time, trick. Go. No calculator. Oh, come on. It's forever card A. It's not even worthy to be won. I'm sure this may be a problem. What? What is the what?
It's because of the.
It's because there are so many numbers that it didn't really expand.
So what's where? I don't.
Nick Davis, ask Josh. Go! Why is Friday? We have to do that. Go, guys, go! Come on.
Weekend. Wait, you're
Look at the bottom. There's 2 sections. Right?
Oh.
I don't. Do you see it? You also see the dress is black and blue, don't you?
Yes, I do. It is.
She said it.
I think it's a really dumb picture, but
Russell.
it's just with the colors. Oh, you're thinking that. Sorry. Gotcha. Leave black and blue or white and gold. Okay.
I'm so confused by that.
Yeah.
Wait.
Totally depends on what picture. Like, there's an article and it has like 3 different pictures. Like, it's all the same picture, but it's all different pigmentation. So it's like, it's dumb. It's lighting. Color is light, right? So different lighting, different colors. So it's too
All I'm saying.
I think the debate's pointless. But period 1 was like freaking out about it.
I go to the same photo.
Guys, I'm going. I want to have some fun. You better be hurrying.
Never mind.
I have elite codes and thoughts. They should look at these. I can see
AP guys. How do I do it? Hold on, pause. We'll erase the AP guys for a second. Or hide them. Does it make sense? Can you do your unit circle? Can you figure out that cosine of negative pi over 3, which is 60 degrees in the fourth quadrant, is a positive 1/2? So then 2 plus positive 1/2 is 5/2. Or cosine of a 60 degree in the second quadrant is a negative 1/2 plus 2 is a 3/2. Did you remember that derivative of cosine is negative sine?
Yeah.
Did you pull out the negative from sine and the negative from flipping the bounds and make it a positive? Did you remember to make u square root in a denominator, u to the negative 1/2, power rule, plug and chug, FTC, 5/2 first, then 3/2. How did I simplify? Come on, AP guys, we can do it. Let's figure them out. What would they have pulled out? Not a root 4.
Wait, no, sorry, I was thinking of something.
A root 2.
A root 2, right? And they would have had a root 5 minus a root 3. Wait, you're allowed to do that? Yeah, multiplication or division, you can split up square roots. Not addition or subtraction, that's killing puppies. 2 over root 2. Wait, is that a thing? There's like a lot of 2's going on. How can you simplify that? There's a couple different ways. One way is you can see 2 as root 2 times root 2 and then I cross out 1. Another way is you could rationalize and say, I wonder what would happen if that's 2. That cancels. There's a root 2. Wait, a root 2? I don't see a root 2. Well, there was a root 2. And then I could bring the root 2 back on in. Those AP guys, we should see. Is it good? Nick?
Can you make root 2 a root 4 and then just...
Yeah, you could do that too. Because then root 4 over root 2, distribute in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that too. And the 4 and the 2 would cancel.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
That would work. That's legal. He was thinking making 2 root 4 and then bringing in a root 4 and the 2 and the 4 and the 2 and the 4. That would work too. Okay. Remember, plus 1 divided by 1/2 is times 2.
But I mean, like, isn't it supposed to be like 2 square root 2?
No. 2 is in denominator. 2 is in denominator. So root 5 over root 2, root 3 over root 2, bring out a root 2. I rationalize. There are many different ways of thinking about, but one way is I can rationalize, and then the root 2 becomes 2. Good, Matthew.
Wait, how did that get from 2 over 0?
Rationalize.
And then, yeah, but how does that, how the radical?
Because this would become... Okay, moving on. Do we really need that?
We're good.
2 random pages. And you've had to kind of use them a couple times in AP assignments. 2 random pages. One has to do with even and odd, and one has to do with, do you have any clue how to solve this, basically? First one, even and odd. So you guys, I don't think I wrote it back there. Section 6.6 and 6.8 kind of like mushed them together because they're so similar. You guys got it? But we have 2 random pages because we haven't, I don't think, written at least very clear notes on even and odd. Besides the pre-cal stuff. In the beginning of the year, f of negative x is equal negative f. F of negative x is equal to f of x. Quick visuals. Let's be more exciting. That doesn't look even. let's say they just gave me, you know the AP guys, they're messy like this. They told me the function was even, and they told me, hey, I want you to find from negative a to a of f of x, and I just give you from 0 to a. What can you do with that information? Find the whole thing if you only have half of it? Double it. Why? Because it's even. So whatever's on the left side from negative a to 0 is the same as is on the right side from 0 to a. So therefore, I'm able to say this integral is just double 0 to a of f of x dx. Just double, right?